Good afternoon and welcome back to Football League World TV. It is time for the EFL Transfer Zone show here on the channel. It is, of course, deadline day today. This is our final show on the channel this afternoon. We're going to be looking at all the latest EFL transfer news and rumours. It is certainly getting busy at the moment. Lots of done deals over the line today, lots swirling around. We're going to keep you up to date with everything that's going on across the English Football League. My name is Sam Rourke, the Chief Editor of Football League World.co.uk, and I'm joined by my colleague Marcus Alley to run through all the latest. Marcus, how are your fingers feeling? It's been a busy one today, hasn't it?
Yeah, not bad. All good so far. Strapping myself in for the long haul. Still a lot of buzz around deadline day, even though we've done quite a lot following football over the years. So yeah, looking forward to it getting a little bit manic later on in the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So get yourself in the comments. Who do you want your club to sign before tonight's 11 p.m. deadline? What have you made of your business so far? Also, let us know your thoughts on some of the transfers we're going to be talking about on today's show. Right, let's get straight into it. Okay, we're going to start off with the situation with regards to Brereton Diaz. His future remains unresolved as of 4:30 today, 11 p.m. It could all change. Fulham have been very hot on Brereton Diaz today. They've had two bids now rejected for the Chilean international. Both bids deemed to be well below the valuation that Blackburn do have on his head. Marcus, let's come to you then with regards to Brereton Diaz. Where's your kind of head right now with what's going to happen with him? Because it's been in limbo for what feels like months. And right now, like I said, at 4:30 on deadline day, we're still none the wiser. What are your thoughts on it? Is he going to stay at Ewood Park?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? My thinking throughout the whole window pretty much has been that he will go at some stage. I think it's just too brittle with 1 year remaining on his contract at Ewood Park. The fact that they started the season quite well almost makes them more able to let a player of that sort of calibre in their squad go. Obviously, yeah, two bids rejected, so they are standing firm to that valuation, which is good to see. But I think as it gets maybe later in the evening, with him being a striker as well, and clubs getting desperate to fill out their squads ahead of the remainder of the campaign, I think someone will meet that valuation. And not sure entirely what it is, but pay the extra just to bring in a player of that quality and the influence that he can have on games. So yeah, right now at this stage, I'm still sticking to my guns and saying that he will leave Blackburn by 11 p.m. tonight. But obviously, yeah, that it's going to get a little bit more nervy as that approaches.
Yeah, he's been not short of interest this summer. Lots of Premier League clubs and clubs from La Liga in particular and Italy have all been earmarked with an interest in Brereton Diaz. So we shall see. But the latest with regards to Brereton Diaz is Fulham have had two bids rejected now for the Blackburn Rovers striker, who did get on the score sheet last night for John Dahl Thomason's team. Let's move on to another rumour next. Right, it looks like we're going to finally come to a conclusion with regards to Josh Bowler's future. He's on his way to Nottingham Forest for a medical. This is a deal that's sort of long been in the rumbling. A deal is agreed between £5 to £6 million is the reported figure it will take for Josh Bowler to leave Bloomfield Road and join Steve Cooper's Forest. Now, there are murmurs that he could well be loaned out to Olympiacos for the season. Obviously, Evangelos Marinakis is the owner of both Forest and Olympiacos. So that could be quite an interesting transfer for the former Everton man. Marcus, did you expect this to happen all along, Josh Bowler to leave Blackpool?
Well, it's another one, similarities to Brereton Diaz being in the final year of his contract. But I was more hesitant to think that he would definitely leave than the Chilean, actually, because feel like Blackpool's position in the Championship is a little bit more under threat if he does leave the club than Blackburn's is if they cash in on Brereton Diaz. I think there would have been a temptation this summer to keep hold of Josh Bowler and accept that you're going to lose him for a nominal fee in the summer, just to ensure that they stay up in the Championship, because covering that financial windfall would be more beneficial to keep the player and lose him for less money than the drop to League One, and how that can hurt a club. But even though his professionalism has been very good at the start of this season, his performance levels haven't dropped off at all, despite the speculation. Maybe his head's been turned, and with just a year remaining on his contract, I think that the fee is quite flattering for Blackpool, considering they got him on a free transfer, of course, last summer from Everton.
Just how big of a blow is this for Blackpool, Marcus, in your opinion? Because he has been one of their most prized assets over the last 2 seasons, was integral in their Championship campaign last term. Just how big of a blow would it be to lose him on deadline day? You haven't necessarily got time to source a replacement straight away. Is this going to be a blow for Appleton and his side?
It's an enormous blow. They've got the depth in the squad in his position, but you can't replace the quality, even if you had the whole window, really, a player that's been excelling as Bowler has in the last sort of half a season at the beginning of this one. So, yeah, it's going to be a huge test of Appleton and Blackpool to see if they can get a late replacement, or even just try and shuffle the pack to try and continue to be as potent in the attacking third as they have been in recent weeks with Bowler in the side. But going into the next few months of the campaign, I think they're just 3 points above the relegation zone in the early season table as it stands. But taking Bowler away from them does make them a far less intimidating opposition for other managers.
Yeah, lots of unhappy Tangerines fans all over my Twitter timeline right now. Josh Bowler on his way to the City Ground for a medical. A deal has been agreed between £5 and £6 million. Watford have had an inquiry for Newcastle striker Chris Wood rebuffed. Quite an ambitious approach, in my opinion. Chris Wood obviously has featured quite heavily for Newcastle over the last few seasons. He won't be going to Watford, but what do you make of this one, Marcus? Quite an interesting link, this.
It's a surprising one, not one I expected, given sort of the calibre of players that Watford already have in the final third, and the depth and the players that they've brought in that position during the transfer window already. I feel like it's probably a more opportunistic one. If a player like that becomes available, then you're definitely going to consider it. But it doesn't sound like he is at this stage. Injury to Callum Wilson has pushed him up the pecking order at Newcastle as well. So yeah, it'll be a surprise to see this one maybe develop any further as the day goes on. It's a different type of option to what Rob Edwards already has at his disposal, but I think in that area of the pitch, the Hornets already have enough. So yeah, this one definitely caught me by surprise today.
Yeah, me and you both. Just a reminder, we are broadcasting live here on Deadline Day on Football League World TV. Send in your comments. Let us know your thoughts on all the latest transfers. Who do you need to sign before the 11 p.m. deadline? We want to hear from you. Had a comment come in from Des Paul on Facebook, a striker for Birmingham. That is what Des wants at the Blues. They have been a little bit goal shy this season. John Eustace's side, it has to be said. Does it look like a deal for Teeve Chong? Will get over the line before the 11 p.m. deadline, potentially. And also Kabongo Shimanga, which we will talk about shortly. Right, let's talk about Coventry City and also stay on the theme of Newcastle United. They are eyeing a last-minute move for Federico Fernandez before tonight's 11 p.m. deadline. Fernandez was linked with a move to Stoke City earlier on this week. They have since cooled their interest in the Newcastle player. But Coventry are looking to bring in some experience in the form of Fernandez. He did, of course, lose Dominic Hyam to Blackburn Rovers, leaving a big void at the heart of that Sky Blues defence. Marcus, would Fernandez be a good addition for Mark Robbins' side?
I think so, yeah. I think Newcastle may be more looking to save a little bit on wages on a player that's not going to be involved that much than they are going and taking a player from a Premier League club on loan. But given the fact that they play a back three system under Mark Robins, you need to pad out your centre back depth chart a little bit more than some other clubs. That said, if they don't pull this one off, I wouldn't be too worried. I think with Fankati Darboe and Jake Bidwell potentially able to step into a back three if needed, I don't think it would leave them too in the lurch if they don't manage to get this one over the line. But it's definitely a good opportunity to take on a player with bags of experience in the Premier League, not hasn't been as regular in recent seasons, but definitely a player that I think could suit them well at a championship level. Carl McFadzean, although he's a great servant to the club, is a fading talent somewhat, and I think a back three system can extend sort of players of that ilk where they are slowing down a little bit in their careers, as long as they've got the players around them to do more of the running, and Fernandes could be a real commanding figure in that back line for Coventry if they do get him.
Yeah, tons of experience for sure. Any Coventry fans watching this, let us know your thoughts on the potential arrival of Federico Fernandes. Coventry are eyeing a late loan move for the player. Just some breaking transfer news coming into Football League World right now. We understand that Aston Villa under-21s captain Hayden Lindley is set to join Newport County in League Two on loan for the rest of the season. We will have a full article on that news story coming up within the next 10 minutes. Right, let's talk about Sander Berge, another EFL player who's very much been in the headlines when it comes to transfers over the last couple of months. Club Brugge in Belgium are making real advances for Sander Berge today ahead of the 11 p.m. deadline. There were reports around midday today that a fee had been agreed between both Club Brugge and Sheffield United. But as it stands, they are just in talks as we understand it, but it is advancing. There are rumours that the Blades have identified Ismail Kone from Montreal as a potential replacement. Kone nearly joined Norwich City earlier on in August. Marcus, let's just touch then on Sander Berge. He's been an instrumental figure for the Blades since he arrived, a key cog in Paul Heckingbottom's midfield. Would it be a big blow to lose him on deadline day, in your opinion?
Definitely. I think Heckingbottom's been really consistent in his stance on how he doesn't want Berge to leave during this transfer window. He's got a release clause of 35 million and they paid 22 to sign him from Genk when they're in the Premier League. So it will be a very tempting figure if they do allow him to go. But he started the season so strongly, hasn't he? As the Blades have, but that you could argue that they wouldn't have been as sort of emphatic in some of the scorelines that they've produced without Sander Berge playing the way he has in attacking midfield. So, yeah, it would be a huge blow. They're unlikely, well, yeah, that they won't be able to replace the quality that they've got in Berge. That is the calibre of the player that we're talking about. It's only because Sheffield United got relegated that he finds himself playing in the Championship. With 2 years left on his deal, they're still in quite a strong position, but they could probably be tempted with the finances that Club Brugge might be able to offer and the Champions League football that they'd be able to offer the player. Yeah,
it will certainly have to be a substantial sum of money to prize Berge away from Bramall Lane between now and 11 p.m. They have been quite adamant in terms of their price tag with regards to the midfielder this summer. So that'll be one to watch over the next couple of hours. Sander Berge's situation. Club Brugge are making advances in their attempts to sign the midfielder before the 11 p.m. deadline. Keep your comments coming in. Let us know your thoughts on Sander Berge and his situation at Sheffield United, and also your transfer situation at your club. Okay, let's delve down to League Two then. Leyton Orient are looking to make a late move for Plymouth Argyle striker Luke Jeffcott. Jeffcott enjoyed a fine season last time out for Argyle, scoring 10 goals. Only 2 starts, though, this season for Argyle. Stephen Schumacher often opting for Ryan Hardy or Niall Ennis as the main men up top. Marcus, for Orient, this could be quite a good signing, couldn't it?
What a coup this would be. I was really shocked to see him linked with a League Two club. Maybe Plymouth aren't looking to to let him go out to a direct rival. It's no slight on Jephcott's ability that he's not really getting in the team at the moment. I think they have a wealth of quality attacking options at Argyle. 16 goals in 2020-21 in League One, and then, as you mentioned, double figures last term. Just 22 years old as well. It's not numbers that you associate with a player that should be dropping back down to League Two level. So if Orient are able to pull it off, then well, it really could give them a leg up amongst the other League Two promotion contenders. I can think of plenty of League One clubs that could do with a player like Luke Jephcott in their side at the moment. Obviously, he hasn't started the season as he would have wanted, but this is still a player that's got his best years ahead of him and is one of the up and coming talents in League One.
Yeah, obviously Orient enjoying a fine start to their League Two season as well. There's no shortage of goals there, so the addition of Luke Jephcott would certainly add to their attacking armoury already. Any Orient or Plymouth fans watching this, let us know your thoughts on Luke Jephcott potentially moving to the Matchroom Stadium this summer. Another comment come in from Ben Johnsey. Ben, good to have you with us this afternoon. The weirdest link of the day has got to be Theo Walcott to Cardiff. Happy we'll accept to get Callum Robinson in the end. What did you make of the Walcott rumours, Marcus? It was a bit of a surprise one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a strange one. I struggled to see how Cardiff can match the financial package that Walcott will be on at Southampton, given the amount of signings compared to money spent in the transfer window so far. Obviously, he hasn't been involved that much for Southampton in the last couple of seasons, so I would probably be surprised for one to see Theo Walcott play in the Championship as his next move, let alone a club like Cardiff that aren't exactly competing right towards the top of the division financially. So, yeah, it was quite a surprising link to see today.
Yeah, Callum Robinson currently at the Cardiff City Stadium undergoing his medical following a move from West Bromwich Albion. That looks like a good addition for Steve Morrison's side as they look to add some real firepower to Cardiff's side. Right, we've got a couple more EFL transfer rumours and gossip to touch on next. Just a final reminder, please do send your comments in. Who do you want your club to sign between now and 11 p.m? We are edging ever closer to that deadline. So Football League World brought you the exclusive a few days ago that Birmingham City were one of the sides interested in Chesterfield attacker Kabongo Shimanga. Shimanga's been scoring goals for fun in non-league over the last few seasons, and Birmingham have advanced their talks with Shimanga. They are looking to conclude a deal for the versatile forward between now and 11 p.m. Marcus, we touched on it earlier on in this show that there is potentially a need to improve what Birmingham have got in the final third. Would Shimanga offer that? You know, it is a sizable jump up from the National League to the Sky Bet Championship. Would this be a good potential addition for you?
Definitely. They're desperate for something different in the final third, and bringing in someone who's hungry and up and coming like Shimanga. I know he's 24, but given the way he's sort of had a renaissance in his career, being so prolific in the National League, I think it's a good type of player that Birmingham should be looking at to really mix it up in the final third and yeah, just add a different profile to that group of Hogan, Jukovic and Troy Deeney. So yeah, I like that. It seems to have progressed more with the Blues and potentially Wigan, because I think that's a place where he could get more playing time. And yeah, it definitely fits what John Eustace needs, and it would be a positive signing for me in the Blues' battle against the drop, as it seems to be playing out as this season.
Yeah, arguably a similar profile to Brandon Thomas Asante. I mean, Birmingham were linked with Thomas Asante quite heavily over the last few days. He, of course, moved to West Bromwich Albion. Shimanga has probably got the better goal contributions in terms of raw statistics when it comes to goals and assists. Shimanga's is superior over Thomas Asante's. Of course, it is at a lower level. So it will be interesting to see what he can do if he does indeed join the St Andrews outfit. Any Birmingham fans watching this, let us know your thoughts on the potential arrival of Shimanga from Chesterfield. Looks like it could be quite an exciting one for sure. Right, a few more EFL transfer rumours to touch on next. It looks like Ipswich Town are going to conclude a deal to sign Panucci Kamara from Plymouth Argyle for a fee in the region of £500,000. That was reported earlier on. It sounds like a bid has been accepted by Argyle for Kamara to join Kieran McKenna's Ipswich side. Marcus, now I know you're a big fan of Panucci Kamara. We spoke about Kamara heavily last season when he was a key figure in that Argyle team. What do you make of this for Ipswich? Good addition in the central midfield for them?
Yeah, it has to be. I think Ipswich could be on the verge of signing the best box-to-box midfielder in League One. He's definitely in the conversation. And despite the Tracks boys putting together a pretty star-studded squad for League One level over the last couple of seasons, they are still a little bit light in central midfield areas. Just playing two centre mids in the current system under McKenna, but I think Kamara could be the perfect player to go in and add some competition for places with Lee Evans, even the captain Sammy Morsey if his form does drop off, and Dominic Ball, who they brought in on a free in the summer. I was surprised to see Kamara maybe not snapped up by a Championship club earlier on in the transfer window, but Ipswich are able to compete financially with the bottom half of the second tier. So no, I think 500,000 as well, which was the reported bid that was accepted, just shows the quality of the player that playing in League One and only with 1 year left on his contract, he can command that sort of transfer fee. So no, I think this would be an outstanding signing for Ipswich, and it increases their chances of automatic promotion.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be joining a midfield, like you say, that is already incredibly strong. You know, Lee Evans and Sam Morsey have firmly cemented themselves in the middle of the park at Portman Road and are thriving in League One. Any Town fans watching, let us know your thoughts on the potential arrival of Panucci Kamara from Plymouth Argyle. A £500,000 fee has been agreed with Stephen Schumacher's side. Right, let's touch on one more piece of EFL transfer news next. There is a transfer tussle going on between West Bromwich Albion and Middlesbrough for Fulham midfielder Josh Onomah. Onomah's found game time hard to come by over the last couple of seasons, featured sparingly under Marco Silva last time out for Fulham. Marcus, Borough in particular in need of some more central midfield options. We've seen Johnny Howson pick up an injury recently, and Baggy's also keen to bolster their engine room. What do you think with regards to Josh Onomah? Would he be a good addition for West Brom or Borough?
Yeah, he definitely would be. A career that hasn't quite taken off at 25 years old, but I am a big fan of Josh Onomah. I think he's definitely a top-end Championship player. Was really crucial for Scott Parker getting promoted with Fulham in 2019-20 via the playoffs, and he would join two very different promotion pushes with West Brom or Middlesbrough. I prefer Borough as a fit for him. I think he's more of a number 8 than a number 10 when you're playing 4-3-3. With those two box-to-box midfielders playing slightly in front of a deeper lying player, I do think that suits his skill set more than a 4-2-3-1 at West Brom. I think it'd be very tough for him to compete with John Swift for that number 10 role, and potentially some of the more defensive options that they've got in midfield. It's been a shame to see him fall down the pecking order at Fulham in the last sort of 2 or 3 seasons, but I think he's definitely got the ability and potential still to unlock at just 25 to be a real force in central midfield in the Championship. I think for Borough in particular, it would be one that I'd be very excited to see.
Yeah, a player that when he's on it can be a really classy operator at second tier level. So this will be an interesting one, whether he does indeed go to West Bromwich Albion or Middlesbrough. Any Baggies or Borough fans watching, let us know your thoughts on the potential arrival of Josh Onomah before the deadline shuts this evening. Right, well, that's all we've got time for on this EFL Transfer Zone show here on Football League World TV. We're expecting it to be a very busy evening across the EFL, but we at Football League will have you covered on our website, footballleagueworld.co.uk, where we have journalists working all through the night. So make sure to stay tuned to the website. Marcus, thanks for joining me on this afternoon's show. If you're watching this on repeat on YouTube, stick a like in below this video and subscribe to the channel. It really does help us grow. But until next time, we shall see you soon.